another requested video from Raul. We'll just leave it at that. And he wants me to do a video on bullshit. It was a good video to do a topic on, or a good topic to do a video on. All right, here we go. Notwithstanding all your videos, you have failed to address the most fundamental topic of our time, bullshit. Bullshit is by far the most ubiquitous commodity in American society due to the growing aversion to dealing with and seeking out objective facts, i.e. the truth. It's just as much easier to bullshit oneself and others than to confront reality. Orwell once said, the further society drifts from the truth, the more it despises those who speak it. Please consider doing a YouTube video on the concept of bullshit. And that is from Raul. All right? And I will. And I've taken some notes. Here's the deal. The reason bullshit is becoming a commodity or a tool or a skill to have is because of decreasing economic growth and an increasing population. Right? And what this results, I'm trying to go a top-down approach here, and what this results in is, let's say the economy's booming, everything's great, everything is awesome. Never mind, if you saw the Lego movie, that was funny. People are on the up and up. People are moral, they're just, they're honorable, they do what they say they're going to do. The economy will grow. They're not as desperate. People are not as desperate because there's economic growth and economic opportunity. There's enough economic growth to support the population. Well, what ends up happening over time, and people have talked about this cycle before, is that capitalism, or just general economic success, has a tendency to spoil successive generations. So the people that build up the capital and build up the money and build up the economic growth, they pass on this money and this economic growth to their children, and those children never had to suffer and work hard, therefore they're lazy and spoiled. And you see this in the United States. We've been we're going on about our fourth or third, I call it shit squared, shit cubed, shit to the quad, to the fourth. But basically you have the World War II generation. Those were the ones that built up everything that we have now. They handed it on to the baby boomers, which was shit. Then you had Gen X, which is shit squared. And now you have the millennials, which is shit cubed. And you can see that. Look at any, there's a great meme out there where it shows, guys who are 26 in World War II, they're posing in their military uniforms and they're in front of like a B-25 bomber. Then you got hippies from, the 60s doing pot. Then you got the 90s grunge, which is what I grew up with, and now you got Pajama Boy, who's 26, for the OWS millennial types. And so what you see is less production, less quality people. You see a decay, a deterioration in the quality of people. Well, naturally, economic production is going to suffer, and therefore you have less economic production to support an increasing population. And we don't even have enough economic growth because we borrow, the government borrows $1 trillion a year to pay for all these people and this stuff. So no one's carrying their own weight. And when you have this basically a dying entity, a dying economy, it's carrion. It's not a healthy entity. It's not a growing brand new baby boy that's going to grow up and be strong. It's an old man that's dying, and you got vultures living off of carrion. And that means, let's say a baby boy is growing. Everything involved in that baby boy growing is going to be supportive, honest, whatever else. If you're dying and being eaten by vultures, you're a corpse and being eaten by vultures, the vultures are going to engage in not so civil behavior. It's going to be bullshit. And that's where the art of bullshit comes from. If you look at people who are very successful in today's economy, they're liars. And I'm not saying this because of political reasons, but listen to a speech by Barack Obama. Anyone, pick anyone. The man is the master of bullshit. He can talk for 2 hours and not say one fucking thing. I'm not joking. But what's worse is that the people buy it. They bought it twice. So you can see, he's done very well. CEOs, Stephen Mullen, who has a great podcast about how psychopaths excel in these environments because they have no emotions, they don't care about people's feelings, and they'll tell people whatever they need to hear to get ahead. So our politicians, bank leaders, obviously, academians, the professors are the worst. They don't care about you. As long as they get their money, they don't care. And they don't care what it does to the future of the economy. You want to know why? Because Barack Obama is going to have a lifelong pension. Hillary Clinton is another perfect example of this. That woman doesn't give a damn about you people. She used to be a Republican. When she was in college, she was with the college Republicans. Well, she, perfect textbook a psychopath. I think it's psychopath, not sociopath. She doesn't care. She could deep down inside. Her, Paul Krugman, Ed Schultz, these are all perfect examples. Paul Krugman, the jury's still out, but Ed Schultz and Hillary Clinton were both Republicans at one time. And now they're the biggest Democrat liberal leftist there is. Paul Krugman's the same way, I contend. I don't imagine anyone who's studied economics that much could be that stupid. These guys are shills. They're whores. They lie to the people because they know that's how they make money. Paul Krugman knows that if he's, who's more popular, Paul Krugman or Thomas Sowell? Well, people have heard of Paul Krugman. Paul Krugman probably makes more money than Thomas Sowell. You want to know why? Because he tells people what they want to hear. It's a survival mechanism. So when you have a decaying or a declining society, it's not people who say, we got to reform Social Security. Hey, you shouldn't get pregnant before you're 16. It's the people who are the soothsayers. They're the liars. Oh, your sins are forgiven. Oh, Jesus will save you. And that's why there's so much bullshit, because it economically pays. Now, the consequence, of course, of lying and bullshit is that it's not sustainable in the long run. And the only reason we haven't sustained the full price of these lies that we've been told is because we've been borrowing money. Money is borrowing debt is an amazing tool. It's like almost to a physics level. It's amazing how it warps time. It just manipulates time. And all we've managed to do is take the future production of borrowing, 17 trillion now, and that's just federal, that's just government. That's not personal or state or local. That's just the federal government. And how it sucked future time today in debt to spend on bribing and lying to the masses and bailing people out of the mistakes. And that's all we've done. Look, we bailed banks out of their mistakes and this stupid bullshit. We're going to bail the stupid children out of majoring in worthless shit out of their bullshit. It's all bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. And so that's why it is. Now, is it moral? No, it's not moral to lie and engage in bullshit, because down the road, this will have to be paid. It will. But if you don't have kids, it's still immoral, but it's still advantageous for you to lie. It's still advantageous for you to engage in bullshit. It's like a prisoner's dilemma. It's a game theory. If everyone is participating in bullshit, if everyone's doing steroids, and you decide, I'm not going to do steroids, you're the only one that's going to suffer. Now, the reason I bring up kids is because your kids are going to suffer your bullshit mistakes. I don't think we got one generation left. I think whatever comes after millennials, those are the ones that are going to pay for this bullshit, for the sins of all the previous generations. So if you have kids, you don't want to engage in bullshit, or at least you want to tell them the truth, and then whatever you got to do, play the bullshit game to make ends meet and get as much money as possible. But understand, in doing so, you're going to seal the fate and condemn your children to a lesser quality and standard of living that we have today. If you don't have kids, and I've thought about this, and to a certain extent, even I've become sociopathic or psychopathic. I have no problems collecting a government check. I have no problems I'm disabled. Whatever it takes me to legally collect a government check, I will. And the only reason I haven't collected a government check is because it takes too much damn time for me to go down there and fill out the paperwork. I had the paperwork to collect EBT, but then I looked at it and I'm like, you know what, I actually make too much money. This isn't going to be worth my time. So if you don't have kids, you can afford to engage in bullshit. It's in your best economic interest to engage in bullshit, and I would even say you're morally entitled to engage in bullshit, because those are the rules that these idiots, this is a democracy, remember, these idiots voted for Barack Hussein Obama. They voted in the socialists, they voted in the leftists. These are the policy, these are the rules. You might as well do steroids. You might as well. So yeah, that's it. Can you stomach it? It really is hard. It's really hard. It's like faking being interested in a girl on a date you just want to nail, and she's dumber than fucking rocks. It's a pain in the ass. I don't want to go and sit and collect, at the county welfare office. I don't want to sit there. I don't want to go through that. I don't want to sit and go through filling out the forms. Did you? That. I can't. And I can't work in a corporate environment. There's where your bullshit is. You got to go go to diversity training, sexual harassment training, and ask the HR bitch asking you stupid questions about what kind of animal would you like to be and why. I mean, I can't tolerate it. I can't stomach it. But them is the rules. You got to play by those rules. Otherwise, I would get out of the country. And I'm not saying that that's not a viable option. It's just it takes a lot to get out of the country. You got to disengage yourself. You have all your social and familial roots here. A lot of people think it's all about money. No, it's more about family and everything. If you really can't stomach it, think about living in another country. I don't know what. Switzerland's pretty high end. Singapore's pretty straight up. A lot of the Asian countries are a bit more traditional. I would suppose so. While you're here in the United States, United Kingdom, Europe, the declining cesspool that is known as Western civilization, you're going to have to engage in bullshit. That is the number one skill to have. Because look, it's not who you know, it's what you know. It's a perfect example of, and that applies so much today. It applies so much today, where you could have straight A's, be top of your class. Are you going to suck that boss's cock? That's all that matters to these disgusting vermin. So I'm sorry, it's bullshit. That's what it is. I don't trust anyone. I really don't. I keep my friends close and my pistols closer. And it's a sad. This isn't 1947. It really is sad, and I apologize. But that's how. That's why you have good friends. That's why you engage in hobbies you like. I'm going to be coming out to your neck of the woods. I won't say where. I'm going to have a cigar at that place we talked about. And that's what life is. I go and I meet everybody that, who's on the interwebs, and we got readers and followers and engaging in this kind of stuff. That's what you should do. So, you got to play the game. You got to do the bullshit. But that doesn't mean in your social life, in your free time, you have to engage in bullshit or surround yourself by people who are bullshitters. You have good quality people in your life, and that's how you do it. So hopefully that helps. It's not a solution. There is no solution except to accept it as fact and to realize, it's all bullshit. That's what you got to do. So anyway, hope that helps. Toodles.